What's up, guys? My name is Jigs. You find me on Facebook under Jake Salazar, and I don't know if you remember, but I've been posting some stuff about the Nova N1, N3, and I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a primer for those who just is starting on this platform, and give you guys a little bit of background of where it is, where it came from, how it came to be, and what to expect with the new one. Because I've been seeing a lot of posts about people having some issues, so I figured, hey, let me help out the community and show you guys what are some first steps to do when you get your N1. But before that, just so you know, the Nova platform has been around for over 20 years. I am going here to reach out and show you, this is the original Nova 700. I bought this was my very first marker, and I bought this upon first release, and since then I fell in love with it. Back then there was only automags and autocockers really, and some spiders, but I wanted something different, and this was it. This was like a space gun when it first came out, and lucky for me, since then, this is about late 90s or something like that when it got released, it's actually still been working, and I use it every season. And this is why I loved it. One is the shot is very unique, and also I haven't done much maintenance to it since I got it. Maybe some lube on the O-rings. That's about it, which will take us to what we need to do with the N1s. So I'll put this away. As you can tell, this is my baby, still works, shoots great. I'll probably pass it on to my kids. So let me get the N1. In the box, depending on what package you get, on the basic is that you will get the N1. This is my N1. I got it in heavily anno because all my other Novas are heavenly bodies, so I had to get heavenly. Super nice. I love the color way. It's awesome. I also have the front grip attached right now. Normally, if you can picture, the front grip is not attached, it's just the trigger guard, but I'll get into this later. I've actually gotten so used to just holding it with just the trigger guard with no grip. I may remove this because I think I'm used to playing without a grip, so I may do that. So first things first, when you get it out, just inspect it, make sure. One thing to note, number one, check your feed neck. As you can tell, mine is loose, so it's not Loctited from the factory. So simple solution, check your feed neck, put some Loctite on it or some tape, and you will tighten that up. This way it doesn't get away from you while you're playing. You don't want this rotating while you're playing. Alright? Another thing, number two, inspect your barrel. On your barrel, there's gonna be some 3 screws on the collar. Inspect these. They might be loose. I believe they're not Loctited from the factory neither. I already spoke to Chris about that, and to address that. But there was a thought behind it that people didn't want to over tighten it or whatnot. But in any case, I'm telling you right now, check these out. If they're loose, or for safety measure, back it out, put some Loctite on it, let it cure, you're good to go. So that's very important, because you don't want this flying out when you are playing. So next thing, one of the most important thing with ball breaks, as you know, the Nova does not have a bolt system, right, per se. What it does have is this reciprocating barrel. And this action is what loads the paintball into the breech into the barrel, and then when you pull the trigger, it shoots with, you know, basically it's a giant spitball. Think of it that way. Paintball's in here already, breech is closed, pull the trigger, shoots right out. If you can see, this is a moving part. So think of this, if you're used to traditional markers, you know, especially other spoolies, think of this as your bolt. So these O-rings are critical for you to lube. You need to lube these if you want to eliminate any chops or whatever. What kind of lube? Something thick. Me and the boys, we like Slick Honey. You can also try something. You can't use the thin grease, you want it to stay on there. Pathogen super grease is what I'm using. I have had no problem. It's thick, it's kind of like Vaseline. This has been working out for me for all my spool valve guns. Especially if you're in the Northeast where it gets cold. You don't want the thin lube, you want something a little bit thicker. Slick Honey works very well, and a tub will last you forever. So once you got that lubed up, barrel backs. Hopefully you guys got some barrel backs. The standard that it comes with is 688. I have not shot 688 in a long time, because most of the paintballs by me are typically 682s, and a lot of times I've gone down to 679, sometimes 677. There's tiny now. Make sure you get barrel backs. It will help you, because remember, there is no detents on this marker, and it shoots in a closed position. So if you had bad barrel to paint match, what's gonna happen is you're gonna have load up a paintball, you're gonna tip running or whatever, the tip is gonna go down and it's just gonna roll out. So when you shoot, nothing's gonna come out because the barrel is empty, breech is empty. Okay, so that's number one. I don't know what number that is, but whatever. You gotta just pay attention. Okay, so for the first three things: feed neck, Loctite, barrel, the barrel collar, shroud, these little Allen keys, Loctite them, and lube these guys. Okay, couple things. Let me air this up so we can go over a couple more stuff. Let me get a tank, because I need to go over pressures and all that stuff. So oh yeah, so what kind of tank? Use a low pressure tank, or you know, it works fine. Why not? Plus it's it'll be compatible with a lot of other guns. Or if you want something in the middle, mid pressure, like 550, this is a Ninja 4500, 68 4500 that's pushing out 450. This is your air on off. It is currently off. You swing it around, there you go, it's locked. And then you should be, safety's off, pull the trigger, you can tell that of that shot. Okay, one thing to note, think of that trigger as like an autococker. If you've never shot an autococker, think of it that way. What that means is it's possible for you to short stroke the trigger. If you are trying to pull this too fast and you don't fully pull the trigger, you're gonna end up chopping a ball because you didn't fully open and close the breech. So it's gonna take some time to get used to it. I've been shooting my Nova for a long time, so I kind of know how it feels. It's a very light pull anyway, and you can rip on this pretty fast once you get used to it. Full pulse on the trigger. All right, let's say you're on the field another thing, since it's pressurized, let's say you're on the field and somehow you got a barrel break, okay? You do not need to degas the marker to get the barrel out, because remember, the barrel's under pressure. There's no way you are taking this out. Press the safety. All right, they did a pretty nice thing here. Pull the trigger, right? Pull the trigger once, press the safety. Wait, pull the trigger, push the safety, and that would, hold on. There you go. Allow you to pull the barrel out, clean it out while on the field. It's not that long. So now it's actually safe until you turn the safety off. Okay, so again, pull the trigger, push in the safety, barrel will pop out. Got it? All right. Okay. Another tip, with pressure, there is a built-in gauge in the back. You are starting off at about typically 80-90 psi to get to velocity. It shouldn't be more than 110 or 120 to get you to the velocity you need. On the bottom here, there is actually 2 Allen keys. Be very careful. This outer one, which has this locking nut outside, think of it as a max pressure that you can allow into the gun. All right, it is preset in the factory. They test this before they ship it out. You shouldn't have to adjust that. Okay, to adjust velocity, all you need is this little lanyard key, and it is the inner one. All right, so not the outer. Adjust velocity with the inner. What else can I say? I love this gun. This marker is awesome. It's the best mechanical rec ball, most fun to play gun that I can think of, and I have some other markers I can use. I have autocockers. Usually I was playing with an EMAC, but there's nothing that shoots like it. So it's just fun, man. And hopefully I gave you enough tips and tricks to figure out what to do when you first get your N1, so that you have a more enjoyable time on the field and you don't have any issues. And if you do have issues, just reach out to the forum. I mean, a bunch of us have had these for a while. I've shot the prototypes and used the prototype N1 for a tournament actually, and then I also have shot the N3, both of them at the same time. So N3 is coming out. Keep a lookout for that. And if you have more issues, just reach out to the guys at War Machine. They're a bunch of helpful guys, and they can, they will love to answer your questions and help you guys out no matter what. All right, so hopefully that helps you out. That is your N1 SuperNova N1 primer, and speak to you guys soon. All right.